When we were leaving Abidjan, this template was not in the pipeline. What was here was what was foreseen, but we said we need to go forward because in Abidjan, during the meeting, we extensively presented the organizational structure of the Linguistic Atlas project, from ACALAN's level and the Continental Coordinator to the Continental Advisory Board or Committee, if you want, to the Continental Scientific and Technical Committee, to the Regional Coordinating Committee, to the National Coordinating Committee. And the terms of reference presented in Abidjan tells clearly who is going to be part of which committee or board. So that is clear. Now, at national level, we opted for a national coordinator, and our able structure, head of national structure in Abidjan, in Côte d'Ivoire, proposed that at the national level it should be a coordinating committee instead of one national coordinator, which is more reasonable. So we went in for that. We said we get topologists, we get cartographers, logically, demographers, statisticians, the civil society, etc. Now, in Abidjan, when we were leaving, I think the translation was not good when I tried to respond to the question about Professor Aidara's, encouragement, the objective, which is really the case, because the terms of reference stipulate what needs to be achieved during the workshop. And I tried to answer that question before Mr. Toure asked for the correspondence. I said, we agreed to write to the national structure. The national structure is our authority in the member state of the African Union. Strategically, the national structure, I think I would have time to present briefly the organizational structure of ACALAN within the African Union setup to some new participants here. We did it in Abidjan. In each member state of the African Union, the ministries of culture are our supreme organ. Before it was called Conference of Ministers of Culture. But now, since 2005, I think, the African Union organizes its activities in thematic domains. You have youth, culture, and sport together, and we call it Specialized Technical Committee. This is our this is our supreme organ, but the culture aspect of it is really what is our supreme organ. This is why all our national structures representing us in the member states of the African Union are from culture, except if culture is not taking care of language matters. In some countries like Gambia, like Mali, and it's education, Ministry of Education that is taking care of language matters. But even if we're asking education to give us a national structure, because it is education that is taking care of language matters, we pass through culture. So writing to the national structures, to the Ministry of Culture, is writing to the authorities to tell them, give us this and that and that. And our national coordinator, not only for the project, but for all our activities in our member states, are our national structures. So when we write to the authorities to ask them to nominate people who can sit in this national coordinating committee, we pass through our national structure, which is our national coordinator. So these letters are written, they are there. We wanted to do it because Abidjan, we organized it, it was near Christmas. That was near the end of the year. And when we left there, we were running up and down to get things done according to our budget. And when we came, we tried to reorganize ourselves. The letters are there. And then I was about to send them. I said, well, hold on. Let's go to Senegal. Now it's Guinea, Conakry, because we were supposed to go to Senegal. Let's go to Conakry and try to revisit all these things, because what is important now, we're getting with the template and the questionnaire, and then we should be able to do something about the template, because we know our cartographers are there, that the expertise, we're tapping to get these things. So these cartographers will come and look at the template. This was a kind of last minute rearrangement, and we didn't get anything on this thing. And we said, when we leave here, then we would know when we will send this thing, because the national coordinating committees will start to be functional after Dakar. That's a new procedure. What we should have done is to send a mail to our national structures, say we were supposed to send these letters to our authorities to select, nominate people who would do this, and we didn't do it. So that we didn't do, and we're sorry for that. And now when we leave here, we'll try to do that. So if you look at the objectives again, you say decide on updating all existing data for member states in the region with linguistic atlases. This is what we intend to do with the template here. The cartographers, we ask you to fill the template. And this template, you're going to present what you have, the information, the data that you have for us regarding African languages, their interrelations, are they used in education, what are they used in administration, are they used in the newspapers, in the media, etc. You will do this thing, experts will listen, we will criticize each presentation, and we will revisit the template to say, this template is good, but we can add this and that and that and that and that. So that when we are leaving here, at the end of this workshop, we will have a comprehensive template with questionnaire that everybody, experts agree to, and all of us will go to our countries and we will start thinking about engaging researchers to administer these questionnaires, to go to the field and do it. And even here, after the meeting of the cartographers, we are going to create a group of cartographers which is not foreseen in this organogram, this structure, and these cartographers would have somebody who we would not say coordinate, because we have a regional coordinator. So if we have a group of cartographers, we will not call him coordinator, we might call him team leader, chef d'équipe in French. That will be there. His job will be to coordinate the activities of the cartographers and would link to the regional coordinator to be able to do more effectively, the cartographic work. And there we can try to formalize things, and then we will know who is responsible for it. If the secretariat want to do something about cartographers, and go to the person who is coordinating the activities of the cartographers. If cartographers have something, you can come and say, look, we need something, please organize a meeting for us. We have something very important and we'll call you to do these things. So these are the structures that we intend to, these are the things that we intend to obtain here. The main thing is to revisit the template and try to agree comprehensively what we think can do in terms of getting authentic, sustainable, and effective information that cartographers would work on to elaborate, to develop, to produce a linguistic atlas that no one would challenge, will be able to challenge. In the field of science, people will always challenge you, but if anybody challenges, we'll be able to defend these things. So Prof has just gone through what we need to do. If you look at the program, everything is here. The presentations will be done by you. We will ask questions about this presentation, and the regional coordinator, of the project will present the template, and any adjustments that has been made on the template. And you will all look at the presentation. You say, hold on, there should be this section. We should do this. A language speakers, native speakers, other speakers, the name of languages, other names, and etc. So we all agree and we go along. And when we criticize this thing, we have something, we can go back. We can always make adjustments. But these adjustments has to be scientific in the perspective of science, so that we can defend ourselves, and what we produce, our atlas, scientifically, people can say, this one is not good, but we'll be able to defend it. And now, the presentation of the Linguistic Atlas template, we said that, criticisms on that, and we will have presentation and demonstration of the initial conception of the Linguistic Atlas. This will be normally after the meeting of cartographers and demographers. They will come. The person who is going to chair this this group of cartographers will come to plenary and will give us a conception, a view of what we intend to have after, updating our template. And we will revisit other structures. We can try to put a timeline that ACALAN Secretariat must respect by delivering, sending the message, the letter that we send to the authorities, that are already there. We just take it and send it to our national structure to be extended to the authorities, culture ministry, or education, if education is in charge of languages, and so we can have this thing on the ground, and the terms of reference also is developed. The terms of reference of the national coordinating committees has been developed by the senior project and program officer. But we didn't intend to do that here because it is not part of the program. But we will present this thing to the coordinators at national level to look at it and make inputs, and for us to come upward. Because if we want to present here, we have cartographers and all those things. I think that's the work of the coordinators and ACALAN and the regional coordinator and the continental coordinator to validate that. So this is what we intend to achieve. We also want to have a meeting with our partners, institutional partners, which is CERTO, we said it, the Center for Educational Research on African Languages and Tradition. And we have CICIVA, the International Center for Bantu Civilization. The Director General of CICIVA said here that maps in Central Africa are there, already done. Just a few things remains to be done. So we want to come together, as the Continental Coordinator said, not to reinvent the wheel. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to use the resources that we have on the ground in our member states, because these resources are developed by experts, and if you want to redo these things, we are going to reuse the expertise of the same experts, which may be redundant. We are just wasting resources. So what exists, we go after it. Of course, we'll revisit it and say, look, this one has been developed this date. We need to adjust this and that on it. And at the end, we go. From here, we go with clear instructions and the recommendations. The recommendations of the meeting are here, Abidjan meeting. I was looking at it even yesterday, to try to preempt any question, because I know some people would ask questions. Some people are here, they will not let anything go like that, which is good, practically. So that is it, Chair. So at the end of the meeting, we should have a consolidated and comprehensive template with questionnaire that we will be ready to administer in our member states. And at the end, we should identify dates when all the structures will be in place, and all the people, the participants here, would be aware of that, and ACALAN will have to do these things. And I will plead to our national structures, our members, if ACALAN should have more than 20 staff, but you have the whole of ACALAN here. Previously, even now, I am acting as Senior Research and Program Officer, and I'm Executive Secretary. It has been like that for years. The Senior Project and Program Officer is Senior Program Officer acting as Research Officer, etc. We have Finance and Administrative Officer. We have an Administrative Officer who is there. We have an Assistant and a Secretary. And that's all ACALAN, with all our continental vacation. So we spent Christmas in Rwanda. You were there with us, our colleague. On the 29th of December, we left Rwanda. Dr. Ojo and myself, we spent Christmas in a church in Rwanda. So that means that the workload on us is terribly heavy. But we try to do it because this is something that we need to do. So we will do that. But if we need to do something and you don't see it, don't wait until last minute and ask questions. You have the right and you have this responsibility to send a mail to ACALAN. Look, the recommendations say that these things and these things need to be done this way. Where are we? And because this is a question of we feeling a collective responsibility. So at the end, this is what we need to do, Chair. Thank you very much. If I missed something, my colleague, Dr. Ojo, you can try to clarify those points. And thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.